Hi, fashion dolls. How are you? Happy Transformation Tuesday, March 1st, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Joining me today, our very special guest is an actor, host, producer, and you might know him as Oscar on The Walking Dead. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Vincent M. Ward, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into this interview. I'm super excited, and my co-host Johnny will be joining me to dish some topics as well as cover the interview as well too. So let me add my very special guest. Welcome to the Dollhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you got to be on your phone to do it, Vince. Make sure that you're on your phone because if you're on your laptop, it's not going to let you join. Yeah, if you're on your laptop, it's not going to let you join. But welcome to the Dollhouse, ladies and gentlemen. My hair is laid like Beyonce at the 2008 Grammy Awards with her tribute to Tina Turner. I love this haircut right here. I wanted to give you guys something very carefree, very feminine, very sensual, very different than what I would normally give you, which is a little bit longer than this cut right here. But yeah, I'm super excited about today's show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be covering some topics today. We're going to be talking about Bad Boys LA and so much more. Of course, Pearline Cooper Caldwell. Giving you guys an update on that. And we're waiting on Vince so that I can add him to the live. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? Let me see. And he's here. Let's go live. Uh-oh. I think it's... There we are. Welcome to our house. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Appreciate you having me.
It is such an honor to have you here. I've been a fan of yours since The Walking Dead and, of course, True Blood, which we'll get into throughout this interview. All
Okay.
right. So how has 2022 been for you thus far? How's this year been for you? Because I know it's been the ups and downs, the roller coaster rides with this pandemic and so many different things. And I know, the shutdowns affected a lot of content creators and actors out there.
Well, you still have a life without the career. So, you have to separate the two. As long as you have family and you have love and you have health, then everything else is going to be all right. And you have faith in God, you'll be fine. You just got to be patient and everything to start kicking back off. But in the meantime, you just create your own projects. You find yourself, you try to work on things that you need to work on. Oh boy, I had it on mute. Sorry about that. You need to work on this stuff to, better your life. It can't be all about work all the time. Uh-oh.
You might have to exit and come back in, ladies and gentlemen. When you get a call, it knocks the sound completely out.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on.
Okay, Vince is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. When you get a call on Instagram, it knocks the sound completely out. Welcome to the Dollhouse if you're just joining. I'm your hostess, Miss Stevie. I'm the host and creator of Style by Stevie Daytime, which is a fashion and beauty and entertainment platform. So welcome if you're just joining in. All right, let's add Vince back, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry about that. I put it on mute, but
It went out. I understand. You're good. You were saying, how 2022 has been.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just your career. It's about family and love and life and health. You got to separate the two sometime. It can't be about auditioning and stuff all the time. It's got to be about what can you do to better yourself and better, other people. So 2022 it's been good. I haven't had any deaths as far as from COVID. Thank God. I did know some people, but as far as like really hitting my family, I've been blessed for it not to really hit my family. So I'm just trying to enjoy my time. I just turned 51. My wife just turned 44 this weekend. I'm just trying to make a way for these 14 grandkids I got and leave a legacy for them. So it's more than my career right now for me.
Absolutely. 51 and fabulous. For those of y'all that be out there throwing shade on the 50s and stuff, black don't crack. Where? 51 where? So
The bones.
yes. As I mean, my mom, she's in her 50s and she looks great. She looks like she could be my sister. I'm 28
Mm-hmm.
and she could easily pass for my sister. That just goes to show you. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I've had some family members who caught COVID and
Mm-hmm.
it's been difficult, being away from them, that social anxiety. But thank God for now, the power of technology with being able to communicate with your friends. And I see my girlfriend Felicia is here, my friend. I text her every weekend and we keep in touch with each other. So it's good to have a strong circle around you. But yes, make sure you guys are being safe out here. So I'm glad you said that as well. The same here on my end. My family's in great health. We're making sure that everyone is okay. Away from that social anxiety, but thank God.
And something else, just because they say don't wear a mask don't mean you don't have to wear a mask. For me and mine, we still keep it on because we know that we're being careful, but you don't know what everybody else is doing. It's been a lot of people out here that's just been shucking and jiving, kicking it, and not wearing a mask, but they don't tell you that they might have had COVID or they might have it still. So you gotta protect yourself. Don't worry about the mask mandate is down. That don't mean you take yours off. You got to do what you think or feel makes you comfortable.
Absolutely. And I'm a big germaphobe. So every time I see somebody without a covering on, I go in the
Mm-hmm.
other direction. I'm like, "Oh, okay, 6 feet."
Yeah.
So it's really rubbed off on me 100%. And I know my brother who was in the military,
Mm-hmm.
he's had the OCD. Everything has got to be neat, spotless,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean shiny for him. It's really rubbed off on me. Like it's really, really bad for
You
me. I'm a
can't even
big
sneeze or
germaphobe.
cough in public anymore without somebody looking at you.
Yeah, or
So,
thinking that you have it. Exactly. All right. So let's get right into this interview. You grew up in Dayton, Ohio?
born and raised, my entire family is still back in Ohio. I've been out here in California for 22 years. I usually try to go home like 3 or 4 times a year, but I haven't been home since last 4th of July. But I think I'm gonna be going home at the end of this month because it's a movie that I did called Social Disturbance by LaRae Wilson and Amber Cook. That's going to be we're doing like a big red carpet and stuff in Indianapolis, where LaRae is from. So of course, if I'm that close to home, I got to go see my family. So I'll probably take a couple extra days. So, and if you haven't seen Social Disturbance, it's on Tubi right now for free. So make sure you check it out. It's an excellent movie, kind of like Fatal Attraction. So go check that out.
All right. Toledo, Ohio. When I think of Ohio, I think of Holly Berry as well, too, because she's from Cleveland, Ohio. You're from
Mhm.
Dayton, Ohio. So I'm like, okay, here's a connection here. There's a lot of big names that have grew up in Ohio. So tell us, what was that experience like for you? How many brothers and how many sisters?
I only have one sister. She's a nurse, Alicia Ward. We call her Lee. It's always been just me and her and my mom and dad, Eddie and Virginia Ward. As far as like celebrities that I might have seen in Ohio, of course we got like Roger Troutman. May he rest in
Yes,
peace.
that.
I actually went to that funeral, and I grew up with his kids. So it was actually a double funeral with him and his brother, and it was probably the saddest funeral I ever seen because both of the coffins was like this, and the mother
Oh,
was sitting right here in the middle. So it was sad, but I really didn't see any celebrities growing up besides maybe, like I said, besides Roger. Oh, and I played basketball against Ron Harper, NBA legend. Won some titles with the Lakers and the Bulls. But we never viewed people like that. It was just, hey, there's such and such. Hey, there's such and such. And honestly, like in today's world, the word celebrity, it really doesn't mean anything anymore because you can be a celebrity and be ratchet on a reality show, cussing and fussing and fighting, or you can be twerking or have a nice body and be considered a celebrity. So that word celebrity, I always felt like it was some people that really worked hard in their craft to do something amazing, but now it's not the same anymore to me.
And I'm glad you made that point, Vince, because a lot of people, when they get fame, and I said this, I was watching an interview with shout outs to Tony Holly, who's also a content creator as well. He does a show just like mine, the Tony Holly Show. And shout outs to my brother K Tukes. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel, the K Tukes Spot. Tony just did an interview with the singer Gina Thompson, and you guys remember her from working with Sean Puffy Combs. She did a
Mm-hmm.
song called The Things You Do, and she
Mm-hmm.
spoke about mental health in the interview and humbling yourself and this biz, because as even for me, as I grow in this biz and build a name for myself, because I've interviewed so many people, from Vanessa Williams to 112 to so many,
Right.
I've humbled myself, and that's why people feel so comfortable with coming to my platform, because I've humbled myself. I
Right.
don't, allow the success to get to my head. And
Mm-hmm.
they say this all the time. You can't get a big head in this industry because you lose sight of who you are. Stay humble and true to who you are along the way, and more abundant blessings, because I'm a firm believer in God. And I put God
Mm-hmm.
first in everything that I do. And I believe that God has put me here for a reason and a purpose. And the thing about it is, because my mom even told me this, she said, never get too big that you forget to put God first in everything that you do. Everything that you do. She
Most
told me to
definitely.
humble myself. And a lot of people tell me that as well too. And when I first started, I was kind of cocky. In my teenage years, I was a little cocky, I'm not gonna lie. But now that I've evolved into my own as a full adult woman, 28 years old, I see things in a different reality. And I think I just had a conversation with my friend that I just went to school with. She was in a well, I was in a chair getting my makeup done or whatever, and she messaged me. And I said, wow, I haven't spoke to you in years. And we were talking about, aging and things that come along with growing up in this industry, in this business. She didn't get into business, a mom and things. But I said, yes, humble yourself along the way. Humble yourself, because so many people lose sight of who they are.
And
You
it can be taken
become,
away just like
yeah,
that. You know,
you get all of the success.
even going back to COVID, some people can't even talk anymore. You know, some people can't even smell or taste. So what if you're a chef and you're cocky and your smell and taste has been taken away? What are you gonna do then? You know, so you definitely have to stay humble, and you have to, manifest what you're trying to do in life, and just treat people good and be professional. And when I say treat people good, I'm not talking about kissing their butt, but just be professional. I don't believe in that CPT time mess. No, I'd rather for me to wait on them for than them wait on me, because it's gonna make you look bad if you're late, or if you go around having an attitude. Some people can't even cope with the little blessings that they get. So how you expect God gonna bless you with the big blessings that you want when you can't even act right on the little stuff? So yeah, you definitely have to stay humble, and you also have to think somebody is always watching you. Somebody might want to hire you for whatever, and then they see how you act on social media, or you see you cussing out people. One minute you're cussing people out, the next minute you're praying, the next minute you're showing this, the next minute you're doing that. It's like, who would want to deal with somebody like that? Because you're all over the place. So definitely being humble. I'm probably more humble today than I have ever been in my life. You know, uh, people, I feel like sometimes when I go back home to Ohio, some people that I might have grew up with, they don't know how to really approach me, or, they might think I'm gonna be Hollywood or something. And, it's been situations where I'll be like, hey man, let's link up when I get home. But then I get home and people, you don't hear from them, because they want to base my life with their life. Everything you
Perception.
see ain't peaches and cream. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't just living a life and all that other stuff. But it's just I don't get it. Just, we can still be like this. We can agree to disagree, but we still got to be respectful towards each other. So I don't know. I'm just Vincent from Dayton, Ohio. Before I'm
And
anything
it's
else.
and I see some of your supporters are coming in, like Mr. Rel G Food, just Mr. Rel G Fod says, Mr. Ward, how are you, brother? And Tingo, I can't pronounce the name, Angela. I'll just call you Angela, my love. I don't want to buffer anything. She says, true. Yeah, it's all about humbling yourself as you get into this business, as you get into this industry, because people can get so clouded and alienated, and it's just like you lose piece of who you are. And me, that's why people feel comfortable to sit with me and come on my platform, because I'm humble, I'm down to earth, I don't act like a big hit, I got a big head or anything. And so does my colleagues that I've mentioned, K Tukes and Tony. So yeah, this is the same for them. So you have a love of sports. Tell us about that. Football, basketball, mainly basketball. Tell us, where did this love of sports come from?
Um, Playing when I was younger. I was pretty good playing basketball growing up. I had received letters from every college you can think of. I was blessed to be nominated for McDonald's All-American. I didn't make the team, but I was happy that I got nominated. I was shocked about that. My parents always kept me in sports. I didn't know probably until like maybe 8 years ago that they kept me in sports to keep me out of the streets or keep me away from the streets.
Yeah.
And, and I told them they didn't even have to do all that because I respect and love them so much. I wasn't trying to let them down. Plus, I wasn't trying to get no whooping either. So, but yeah, they kept me in basketball, football. I played baseball. And speaking of football, both my teams played each other in the Super Bowl. I'm from Ohio, so my heart was with the Bengals, but I've been out here in LA for 22 years. But my mind was saying that the Rams would win. I never said that out loud, but I was really hoping that the Bengals would win. And plus, they played a great game. So I just love sports. My Lakers stink. I love LeBron, but the rest of the team is just horrible. So I don't know. I still be trying to play ball myself like I'm in high school, and I be hurting like 3 or 4 days afterwards. So yeah, that's
All
that's
right.
that's my hobbies, playing basketball and doing other stuff.
Would you ever go back? Would you ever consider going back to playing sports?
No, I still play, but as far as like professional, that'd never happen. I'm too old for that. Hell, they call LeBron old, and he what 36? It was like, damn, that's old. So, but nah, I still enjoy. I'm a competitor, so I still compete on whatever I do. Just like auditions, you got to compete against people. I hate audition. I just want the people to just give me the parts. Give me the parts. You can trust me on it. I have my stuff together, but that's part of the progress. Like right here, I'm studying for an audition for later on. That's why this light is up. So
Okay, okay. So tell us about the dance duo Night and Day, which has toured with some heavyweights in the hip hop world. Yes, I've done my research. Public Enemy, MC Light, just to name a few. Tell us a
yeah,
little bit about that experience. What was that like for you to be able to go on tour with MC Hammer, Heavy D, MC Light, Public Enemy? What was that
dancing
experience like
was
for you?
actually my first love before sports.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", and my dance partner was 6'5", and we would win every dance contest in the Midwest. And we felt like we can go against Hammer. We felt like we can beat Heavy D and the Boys, Big Daddy Kane, Scoop and Scrap Lover. And we would really and truly practice in my parents' driveway. And I remember the first night I stayed out late, my mom was like, "Don't do that again." And
Uh-oh.
she's like, you be in this house at 11, 12 o'clock. I'm like, 12 o'clock? The party just starting. And that very next week, I stayed out late again. And my mom took me to this like halfway house, and I learned my lesson. But then, people started telling her that Vincent, people were saying Vincent and Broderick are good on the dance floor. And, she saw that we was taking it serious, so she let me stay out a little longer. And I had never smoked or drink. I didn't have my first drink until I was 30 years old when I moved here to California. So it was all about gaining my parents' trust and letting them know that we're just out there on the dance floor from the time we got there to the time we left. So shout out to Broderick. He was night and I was day. Matter of fact, here's something right here. We were in two different rap groups. One was called the East Town Posse, and the other one was called the Slam Syndicate. So yeah.
Yes. 100%. Wow. And you've had such a prolific career span, 50 roles and probably even more. Finding Neverland, Michael Jackson, you did The Wire, you did two of my favorites, which is The Walking Dead. Everyone knows you as Oscar. Someone put it in the comments earlier, from Brazil. And then you did True Blood with the beautiful Rutina Wesley. She's one of my favorite actresses. What was that experience like for you to get the call to portray the role as Oscar on The Walking Dead?
First of all, I had never even seen or heard of The Walking Dead, and I had never even seen True Blood. So for me, it was just, I believe in giving 100% on whatever role it is. If it's an independent film, if it's a play, whatever it is, I never like, oh, I take that back. I have been like, oh, I got to get more to this role because, I'm auditioning. But when I found out I got the part in The Walking Dead, I was like, okay, what's The Walking Dead? And they was like, it's about a group of people and, trying to escape the apocalypse and zombies or walkers.
Mm-hmm.
And then my first question was, who's watching that crap? And come to find out, millions and millions of people are watching it. I was just not, after a while, I became honored to be a part of that world. But for me, it was like, the people ask me all the time, do you watch it now? I was like, well, I didn't watch it before. It was, for me, it was a job. The job was over. You move to the next thing. But the fans, the cast and the crew, everybody has been so nice. And it's been some years, but it still give me in some doors. And I appreciate it, as far as like, even with the conventions, when people come up to you and ask for an autograph and all that other stuff. It's very humbling.
And I remember just like it was yesterday, every time they would announce it, AMC, every Sunday, it would be a new episode of The Walking Dead. And another one of my shows that you did is The Wire. I was supposed to have Julio come on the show, Julio McCollum, come on the show, and hopefully he is. I think he's coming on next month. But I'm super excited. What was that experience like for you? Because we've known you for notable roles such as The Wire and, of course, The Walking Dead and True Blood.
I took a chance on that. And I'm going to tell you the story. I was already in Baltimore filming. I was actually filming a movie and was going to do a play at the same time, but the play fell through or whatnot. So 3 different people, 3 different locations. I told them, I'm gonna go talk to the cast director and try to get on The Wire. 3 different people said the same exact thing. Don't go to that woman's office. She's mean. And so I'm like, man, why is everybody saying this? So I'm like, okay, I'm going anyways. I put a package together. I went in there and I introduced myself to the secretary. And she took it. She's like, oh, I'll go tell whatever the lady's name was. All of a sudden, I heard, I don't give a F who F it is. He doesn't stop in my effing office without effing calling. And she was only like 8 feet from me. So the secretary comes back out and she said, I guess you heard that, huh? I was like, yeah, she's standing right there. So, when it was time for me to leave, I said, I'm sorry for stopping in unannounced, my apology. I left, but I left that package there. Hour later, the lady called me for an audition. She said, I want you to come in and read for this part. I said, all right. So I went in there and she explained why she was like that. Because so many people come in saying that they want to do this, they want to do that, and they don't have their stuff together. I'm an actor, but you can't remember your lines, or, you can't be on time. So, she actually apologized to me. So she let me read. Long story short, I got the part. But if I would have listened to those 3 people from 3 different locations, I would have never had the opportunity. But that was probably the first time I ever cried for, after I got a part, because I was just like, man, this is crazy. It was a show that I loved, and it was on its last season. And I just thought about the situation, how Satan tried to block my blessing by having those three people tell me, don't go in that woman's office. And that's how I end up getting the wire.
Then look at you now.
Yeah. And I had
Speaking.
another story with how I got Ocean's 11. My scene was cut out of traffic, and that was like my first big thing. And my scene was with Michael Douglas, and me and my parents had told everybody, my baby with Michael Douglas. I'm telling everybody, yeah, I'm with Michael Douglas. I had just moved to California, and I moved here just in time for the premiere. So I'm sitting there, and it's the scene where he's driving through the neighborhood looking for his daughter, and I pretty much jump out and confront him like, what you doing in my hood type thing. My character was called The Face, so I'm all up in Michael Douglas' face. I'm at the premiere, and I'm like, here we go. I've been waiting 8, 9 months for this. He's driving, and he drove right past me. I was devastated. So after the premiere, I go to Steven Soderbergh, which is a big time director, and I'm speaking from my heart because I didn't know the industry. And I said, hey man, why you cut my part out? Just like that. And he looking around like, oh boy, where's security? This dude about to flip out. And he was like, well, Vince, we had to pay Michael up front. We had to cut out some scenes. He said, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. And I was like, he saw the hurt in my face, so I started to walk away. He said, but hey, he said, I'm working on a new film. This is when people wrote the numbers down. He said, give my secretary a call. I have something for you, my new movie called Ocean's 11. And he kept his word. And he gave me my part to put on my reel from the part that got cut out of traffic. So much respect to Steven Soderbergh on keeping his word. And that's how I got it.
When you get on set, what's running through your mind? Like, do you ever have that feeling like, wow, this is unreal? Have you ever had that?
All the time. All the time. I just go and I just smile because somebody else could be in that spot. I try to leave early enough, so I'm early. With this traffic out here, never want to be late. It's just like the movie I just shot called Fire, which you guys are gonna love. It's by Lorraine Wilson, the same person from Social Disturbance. And one day I was 10 minutes late, and I was beating myself up. But we didn't get to my part until like 8 hours later. But still in my mind, it's like, no, you're one of the leads in the movie, so you have to lead and by example. But that's just me. But Fire is a timepiece. I play a character named Bobby. It's starring Shireen Crutchfield, my man Slink. Slink played Black Jesus. That's where I first met Slink at, because I was on Black Jesus. Danny Wise. And Angie Fisher. The singer Angie Fisher. She came in and did her thing. But yeah, Lorraine Wilson and Amber Cook was the producer. You guys are gonna love this. It's called Fire, and we actually just finished filming, so I'm excited about that.
An ensemble cast. Shout outs to Shireen Crutchfield and her husband Crutchfield Jones. Their hit
Mm-hmm.
single Crazy Ass is out right now on all
Yep.
streaming platforms. So please go and check it out. Shout outs to Rick Jones and Shireen.
Yeah.
Please go and check it out.
I did a movie
All
called
right.
Alyssa with Shireen.
Okay.
Yeah, a few years ago, and me and Lorraine, the writer, director, producer, we're cool, and we were looking. She was looking for a lead, and I was like, and she described it, and I was like, I know somebody. So I hit up Shireen, and she's like, I know Shireen, and that's how we came back together.
And you've mentioned something, and I'm just like, wow, he's speaking to me, because I just got through doing my affirmations before I did the interview, and I do my morning affirmations, morning devotion. You said, I got to lead by example. And that means being on time. And even for me, I'm a set caster or blog or whatever. I try to do things at a certain time. I always put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I'm prompt and on time, because representation is everything. Representation in this industry, in this business, is cute, because you don't want to get that, oh, well, you were an hour late, you didn't show up on time, all of these things. It's about the professionalism of it. And even for me, when it comes to handling certain situations, as well as my co-host, Johnny and Marco, they're always on time. They're always prompt and making
Yeah.
sure that they're here with me to do the topics or whatever it is, or an interview. So in this business, representation is key, because even if you're
Mhm.
like a singer, you show up to an hour late, to a concert, that's going to be the headline. So
Woo! Yeah.
being an actor, they're not going to let you live it down. Like, we pay for these, and even the supporters that are viewing it are going to be like upset. Like, we paid for these tickets and the singer didn't even show up on time. So it's about professionalism, the professionalism aspect. So I wanted to ask you, as an acting vet in this biz, what key things do you look for when you're producing your projects?
Um, is it good? Will people enjoy it? Is the lighting correct? Is the sound on correct? You know, one thing people always want to, you know, go support this, go support that. But then when you go look at it, you be like, what is this crap? You know what I mean? And it's not me trying to down somebody. It's just like, if I see it, I know doggone well y'all see it. If your lighting is screwed up, I know you see it. If the sound is messed up,
Mm-hmm.
why you put it out? Wait until your stuff is together before you try to put it out and ask everybody to see it, because most people they're gonna talk bad about it. They really and truly are. So I look for my stuff to be on time. You know, I want it to be where somebody be like, oh, I want to work with this guy, or you know, it looks great. I can see this on AMC. I can see this on the Travel Network. You know, I want to hear those type of things. So yeah, and I haven't really. I just started getting into producing, and I'm all about connecting people. I'm all about, you know, hey, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna make this stuff look good. We're gonna we're gonna team up, you know, so we can work together in the future. One thing that I don't like is where people ask you to be in their projects and they on a shoestring budget. Okay, they ain't really got that much money, but I don't
Yeah.
base it on it. I'm like, let's see how we can grow together. But don't go and get a huge budget for this next film or the next project, and then you don't forget about the people who basically work for free for you. That pisses me off to no end. It's a show running on BET right now where I know doggone well that they didn't pay me what I was supposed to be getting, but I wasn't tripping on it. But now y'all on season 4 or 5, and y'all even asked me to come in and audition for your show. Okay, okay. But yet you go get, like I said, go get a rapper or a reality show person. Why you didn't do that when you didn't have no money? Because they wouldn't have done it. You know, so you know sometimes you got to remember the people who was there for you when you didn't really have a lot to work with. So I'm all about growing and making greatness, but in the same breath, let's be real with each other for the future also.
Absolutely. And you can't get something for nothing in this business. If you put in all the effort to it, you have to make sure that you're casting people that are willing to do it 100%. You can't get something for nothing in this business. And I've realized that along the way as well, too, when it came to booking guests for this platform. And, you know, just making sure that I have the right sponsorships and whomever. So, yeah, this business, make sure that you have the right people around you 100%.
Indeed.
All right. So we're going to do 2 games with Vince, ladies and gentlemen, and then we are going to wrap up this interview. All right. The first one is called the Rapid Five. And Vince has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without. The next one is going to be called His Thoughts. And his thoughts, I'm going to drop a name of an actor or actress, and you tell me the first word that comes to your mind about this actor or actress. So let's start off with the Rapid Five. What are 5 things that you can't live without?
Can't live without my phone. I can't live without my car. I can't live without my wife. I can't live without my little furry child.
Oh,
And I can't live without internet. I'm not gonna say social media, but internet. And I can't live without my having good health.
yes. And that's a blessing from God all in itself. That is to have great health. You know, we can do without all of these things. Social media. For me, I'm a glamour girl, as y'all can see. Y'all been viewing my stories and page here. I love fashion. I love hair and makeup. I'm a woman. These are things that women, and I'm pretty sure your wife can relate to too. We love a good lash. We love a good lash and highlighter. And I know men are just like, well, damn, she's got everything in the bathroom. Yes. So fellas, don't be shocked. But yes, I can live without all of that. But one thing I want is great health. I want to be alive. I want to be here knowing that I made my mark on this
Mm-hmm.
world. I can do without makeup. I can do without hair products. I can do without all of that. But the only thing that I want right now is to be alive, because we're
Yeah.
in such polarizing times right now.
I was in my garage working out, and I saw one of my neighbors, older black gentleman. He's always walking his dog, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And I was like, "Hey man, where you going?" And he's like, "Oh man," he said, "I'm just walking." He said, "I've been sick," and I could tell he lost a lot of weight. I could tell. And he was saying about his diabetes. His diabetes kicked in, and he lost like 50 pounds. And it hit me. It hit me hard. It hit me so hard I cried. He didn't see me cry because I started thinking about my parents. That could be my dad right there. That could be my mom. And hell, that can be me. And I was just letting God know that how grateful I am that when my dad did get sick or when my mom did get sick, that he healed them. So it's just, I don't know. Sorry. So it was just
It is
something I
okay.
thought about when I just saw my neighbor probably an hour ago.
And it's so funny you mentioned diabetes, because we don't as black people, we don't talk about the health aspect of it enough, whether it's mental health or high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes. These are
Mhm.
things that take black people out. And we have to be open and transparent to talk about it. Men, black women, we have to be open to talk about these things, because I know for me, diabetes runs in my family.
Mhm.
Me and my brother, we don't have it, but my mom and my father and my brother and my grandmother, they have it. And I see them having to use the blood sugar monitor, to have to poke their fingers and things.
Mhm.
Like, it's an insulin, and I don't really, I'm getting familiarized to all of these things, as a young child, not realizing why my dad looks tired all of a sudden, not realizing why my mom looks tired all of a sudden and exhausted. It's because their sugar dropped.
Yeah.
So now, being older, I realize these things, and I've studied up more on it. And that's the thing within the black community. We have to be open to talk about our health issues instead of just, oh, it's nothing, it's
Yeah.
just a little ache, it'll be okay. No, go, male, woman, whomever, go to the doctor, get checked up, because you never know. People are battling these things behind the scenes, and they're not telling anybody about it. They're
Yeah.
not opening up and telling people what's wrong with me. Why is this bothering me? Why am I in pain? What's hurting me? I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to worry. No, let me know.
You
Are we
back?
back? Yes, I think we're back.
Okay, there we go. It's just like I made my neighbor laugh because I was telling him about my uncle. He has diabetes, and
Mm.
one thing about him, his doctor told him to stop eating sweets. He's been telling him this for years, and my uncle told him if I stop eating sweets, then I'll probably die. And he never stopped eating sweets. He's still here, and nothing's been
My
wrong with him.
my
So
grandmother was the same way. You can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her nothing about eating certain things. She just like, well, even when she was pregnant with my aunt, she was like, oh, the doctor said you can't eat this. She went right on ahead and she got herself a fried pickle. At the time, it was a carnival. So,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, these are things that we have to be considerate about. And I try to tell people, no, you can't eat this. And I'm the type of person enjoy and indulge in it just a little bit,
Oh
but
yeah,
not too much.
most
Eat what you
definitely.
like, but make sure that you're taking care of yourself health wise.
Yeah,
Because during this
I blame my
pandemic,
wife. I blame my wife for me gaining all this weight. It's like, but the food is so doggone good and it's fresh. But you know, me and her, we definitely talked about eating better, and we don't eat
yes.
bad, you know. But as you get older, your metabolism slows down, and it is what it is, you know. That's why I just try to keep working out, and as it ain't that right, Macy?
That's right. And stay healthy. I know with this whole pandemic, everyone is, but I see people still figuring out ways to stay healthy, whether it's taking a walk. Of course, you know, I seen a picture of what was a Holly Berry,
Hmm.
your Ohio native, and she was walking with her daughter, and they were out there. They had their, you know, it was a mother and daughter thing, and they were out there walking. So get outside. Don't stay pent up in the house,
Oh
but
yeah.
still be safe. Get active. Get up and do something. Even for me, I try to find things like I'm a Scorpio. I'm the type of person I can't be sitting still all the time. I have to be doing something. So
Agreed.
cleaning, doing something, being active, you know, and it gets rid of that gloominess and that depression. I know we're suffering from anxiety with being away from our family members and loved ones and significant others, but find something to do around the house, productive. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right. We got carried away off on a little tangent talking about health because I'm glad he mentioned that. But we are going to discuss his thoughts. So I'm going to drop a name of an actor. And you have to tell me the first word that comes along with your thoughts of what you think about this actor. Okay,
Okay.
so the first one I'm going to drop is the Wire icon himself, because you were also on The Wire. He's associated with your show, Idris
Michael
Elba.
Williams. Who?
Yes, Idris Elba.
Oh, Idris. Idris is doing his thing. Idris is very talented. Idris fooled a lot of people with that accent. That British, you know, he was from Britain or British, and you know, he surprised a lot of people with that. Very talented guy, very talented DJ. Um, I've never heard anything negative about him. I've never met him, but he seems like a down to earth guy. Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Um, the late Michael K. Williams, who was also one of your co-stars.
Yeah, it's so sad, you know, those demons caught up with him, you know, with the whole drugs or whatnot. A very talented guy. He always seems so respectful. I still watch his show, the Black Market with Michael K. Williams, and I hated to see him go. You know, you never want to hear good people die for those type of situations. Um, but it happens. You just wish it wouldn't have. So, you know, rest in peace to Mike, and may his legacy move on or continue on, rather.
Yes. Number 3, we're gonna go with Don Cheadle.
Oh, work with him in Ocean's 11. Play basketball with him every day in Ocean's 11. He need to work on his game. It is after he did Ocean's 11, he did a movie about playing basketball. I was like, how's this even possible? But one of the greatest actors out here, very versatile. He can play funny, he can play the drama. Um, I enjoyed playing ball with him and just watching him on set of Ocean's 11, him being professional, being on time, and doing what he was supposed to do. I love Don Cheadle.
Okay. Number 4, we're gonna go with Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington, talented actress. She seems sweet as can be. I've never heard anything negative about her. Don't really know too much about her, except for just, you know, watching her watching her do her thing. Very talented actress. Her and that thing she was doing with her mouth. She always cracks me up doing that. But yeah,
All right.
I like her.
All right. Vincent M. Ward.
Next big thing. Next big
Mm,
thing. Not where he want to be, but he ain't where he used to be. Very humble guy, waiting patiently, family man. Don't give anybody any problems, no drama. Like to see people win. Like to see people smile. Bless with or without the acting. Just a good guy. That's a good guy. Good guy people can trust and depend on. That's me.
yes. Horror of Fanatic 27. Hi, husband.
What up, wifey? That's my wife.
Hi, wife. Hello. Welcome
That's
to the
Cecilia.
dollhouse. Welcome, 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 welcome. Now I have to ask wife. Wife, we were just doing a game called His Thoughts, where I dropped the name of an actor and Vince tells me the name, tells me his first impression, a word, one word that describes the actor. We did Idris Elba and Michael K. Williams and Carrie Washington and so forth. So she
I'm
said,
surprised,
hi, leave it now.
I'm surprised she's on here because she's at work. She's a kindergarten teacher.
Okay. All right. All right. Real quick, wife. What word would you use to describe your husband, Vince? One word, real quick, before you go. Because I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I love to hear it. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. We are here with Vincent M. Ward, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we have any questions, so I'm going to let Vince take it away because this is one of the most powerful interviews that I've ever done. You dropped some nuggets along the way, and this can really help people that are looking to get into the acting and showbiz. And the key word today was what, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining in, humbling yourself, because so many people get caught up in this industry with the glitz, the glamour. They see the beautiful things of it, but they don't understand that there's something behind it as well, too. There's always something. Someone has something that they're going through behind the scenes. We see the pretty pictures and the Hollywood aspect of it, but we're not sitting back and taking the time to reflect like, wow, is this really me?
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you is, before we conclude this interview, is what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into the showbiz?
If this is just a hobby, this ain't for you. If you're expecting to be rich and famous overnight, this isn't for you. If you
Hmm.
don't have tough skin and can take no's for an answer, this isn't for you. But if you have faith and you believe in yourself and to put in the work and be professional, then this could be for you. I've been doing this 20 some years. And like I said earlier, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. I know my best is yet to come. And when I accept that Oscar, and when I say I want to thank God, then no, I'm not just saying it just to be saying it. I'm saying it because I know where I came from. And I'm saying it from the heart, and I mean it from the heart. So
I just pinned your comment. THS Horror Vixen. Confidence is the key thing when you're going into this industry. And shout outs to Liz, beautiful singer. She says focus and strive. Y'all are dropping the key words that we kind of
mhm.
talked about throughout this interview. And if you're just coming in, again, humble yourself. Commitment, yes. If this is something that you want to do, if this is something that you're persistent about doing, make sure that you go in head first. A lot of indie up and coming actors that I've interviewed are like, okay, I've had an acting coach. I took acting classes. I went to school for this. So if this is something that you're serious about pursuing, there's books and there's programs out here that can help you. I know E-News doesn't do it anymore. E-True Hollywood Story would kind of give you a little bit of an insight on the industry, the good and the bad of it. It will give you all of that. If you're looking to get into music, there's programs like Behind the Music,
Unsung.
Unsung. There's so many things out here that can educate you. So make sure that you inform yourself. If you're looking to do what I do, read books, talk to colleagues who are in this industry and have been in the industry longer than you. I can't talk to Sherry Shepherd because I wouldn't know. She just got her talk show, so congrats, Sherry. I can't talk to her. I wish I could, but I would ask her, how do you do it? And she has her podcast with Kim Whitley. So yeah, it's all about humbling yourself. Be ready to do without. Yes, and we kind of talked about that too, Liz. Also, what are 5 things you can't live without? And I said, the things that I can live without are makeup. But one thing I definitely want is great health. So let everyone know where they can follow you, where they can check out your projects, Vince, if you have anything coming up.
Mine is simple. Vincent M. Ward. That's it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. And if you ask me a question, just know I'm going to give you the real answer. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, like I said, play the politics with you. I'm going to tell you the real deal. So Vincent M. Ward, I have a website, vincentmward.com. And yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our interview with the one and only Mr. Vincent M. Ward. We love you, baby. The horror vixen, if you're just coming in, thank you so much. Key thing, and I just pinned what the horror vixen just put in, that is confidence. And I'm going to read Liz's comment. She said, be conscious of who surrounds you, who is in your circle. Absolutely. Get rid of what I like to call poison apples. Get rid of the poison apples. Get rid of them, because you take a bite out of them, they got you. They got you. You're infected by it. Please remove toxicity out of your life and surround yourself with people who care about you, family, friends. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have producer Maurice Paramore is going to be joining us, but today I got the honor to speak with acting vet Mr. Vincent Ward, who I've been watching since The Wire. Well, I would have been like, what? Yeah, I would have been still like in middle school, kindergarten when that came out. So yeah, I couldn't watch it. My dad would always send me straight to my bunk bed. But then when I hit 18, The Wire would come on. So I would TVO it on HBO. Yes. All right.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. You're welcome to come back to the Dollhouse anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vincent Ward. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Thank you.